things are looking a bit more festive out here tonight. That's because, of course, it is Christmas time. And as such, I am very happy to announce that Fight Night will be the hosts of this year's Christmas Clash pay-per-view. What better time for it as well? It is going to be one hell of a show, I personally guarantee it. But speaking of that show, last week, we were supposed to be getting a #1 contender announced for Wilson's World Heavyweight Championship. But then that attack was ruined by Wilson Woodward and Jake Griffiths. So one of you boys better come out here and explain yourselves right now, or I will be forced to take drastic measures. Keep your hat on, old man, I'm here, alright? Now, before I say what I want to say, I didn't have anything to do with Wilson Woodward, alright? I work alone, you know that, and he ruined my plans anyway by attacking Bruiser Brad and preventing the match from occurring. So you better believe that he's not in my good books. Last week, what I did was a message. I wanted to prove to you, and to that no good loser of a champion that is Wilson, that fatality was a fluke. The ref should have called for the bell when he started to bleed, but instead he called it against me, even though I was still able and ready to fight. I showed you in your main event that I was better than any of your main eventers, and that there is no one better than me. There is no one better for the World Heavyweight Championship than me. You think your surprise attack shows how good of a wrestler you are? They make you look pathetic. Now, I don't know if you're telling the truth about Wilson Woodward, but I will look into it a little further later. But more to your point, Jake, I do believe that you are a top contender, which is why I gave you the match at Fatality in the first place. But if you lose a title match and you want another go, you got to prove it in the ring. So tell you what, here's my offer. Tonight's main event will no longer be a one-on-one. Instead, it will be a triple threat match between you, Dino D, and Bruiser Brad. You win, you prove your point, you get your title match. Same for all the winners. But if you lose, then you better be prepared to get to the back of the line, because next time you do this, I will not be so generous. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Darren Jacobs and welcome back to another episode of World Internet Wrestling. This is the final episode before the pay-per-view that is in Las Vegas, Nevada in the Sin City Showdown. Kicking us off tonight, not supposed to be in competition, it is the former Fight Night Tag Team Champions KO Oxley and Carter James, otherwise known as the Backbreakers. Well, I believe they're out here to talk. I don't think they have anything scheduled. I don't know what the plan is, but these two, of course, will be cashing in their rematch clause for the Tag Team Championships in 3 weeks' time at the Christmas Clash pay-per-view as they look to take the titles from the new Tag Team Champions, Bolton and Hart, who managed to beat them at the last pay-per-view. They're looking for revenge, and I'm sure they're eager, but clearly, after last week, you can see all the tensions from the beatdown on Hart, but enough from me. Let's hand it over to them and see what they have to say. I'm out here tonight with James to apologise. I lost my cool last week. Those Aces of Hearts scumbags did what they wanted to do and they got under my skin. So I apologise for losing my cool. But I don't apologise for the damage that I caused them. Bolton and Hart have done nothing but try to make us look like losers since we got the titles. And because we fell for their tricks, we gave them an undeserved title match. And because we got ourselves so worked up, we failed you all. Now you know that that is the case. Let me assure you that we do not intend to ever do that again. We had to wait 2 seasons for our fair and deserved shot at the tag team titles, and it was one of the best feelings of our careers when we won it. And when it was taken from us, it was the worst. Which is why this time, when we cash in our rematch at the Christmas Clash, things will be different. We will have learned from our mistakes. We know what we did wrong, and we don't intend to be one and done tag team champions. The Backbreakers are fighters, and we will not stop until the backs of Bolton and Hart are snapped in half and we become 2-time tag team champions. So enjoy holding on to the titles, boys, because in 3 weeks' time, we are coming for you. And when we do, it'll be the last time you ever hold the gold. Well, a statement of intent made there, but it looks like they have pissed off the champions. The tag team champions, Ace of Hearts, Peter Bolton and Alan Hart coming out here tonight, and it looks like they don't look too happy. The tag team champions coming out, and it looks like they have something to say to their #1 contenders. Remember Bolton and Hart, of course, losing last week in the singles match. I believe it was Alan Hart who stepped into the ring. Peter Bolton as well. Did not participate last week, so he's still pretty healthy. Don't know what they're going to say, but I'm sure they're not happy about the situation that went down last week, and can you blame them? They're the tag team champions, they were disrespected. However, they haven't exactly been as respectful as many would lead you to believe. Let's hear what they have to say. We heard you guys out here making a lot of empty promises and empty threats out here, so we thought we would come make some promises of our own. First, you're going to pay for that little cheap shot last week. Just because we're letting it go right now doesn't mean that it's over. Second, I can personally promise you that by the time you get to Christmas Clash, you will not be ready for anything that we bring to you and your pathetic excuse of a partner. Well, that's if you make it to pay-per-view at least. And third, under no circumstances will you take the titles from us. We are superior in comparison to the both of you. And we proved it once, and we can just as easily prove it again. Because you're not champions, you're jokes. Let's get one thing straight. The only reason you guys got a title fight was because you couldn't actually beat any other teams to earn one. And we took pity on you when you came begging for a title match. You know the difference between you two and us? We were willing to fight and defend our titles whenever, wherever, against whoever. So if you were real champions and not cowards, then you would let us throw down right now and take those tag team titles from you ourselves. But you won't, because you're a bunch of cowards who run around pretending that they were born champions. You want to be called a champion? Prove it. And face us right here and right now. What do you think we are? You two idiots? No. We will not fight you tonight. See, you said you had us all figured out, but yet you still can't see why we beat you. Because everything we were asking for, we got. We asked for a title match. You gave it to us. We chose the time and date. You gave it to us. The reason we are superior to you two is because we never do anything that we aren't ready for. Which is why, when you waste this rematch clause at Christmas Clash, you best believe that you won't even see a #1 contender spot until you work your way back to... Whoa, hold on a minute. I recognize that music anywhere. That is Death Lordicus and Harry, the Death Ninjas. What the hell are these two doing out here? Well, these two don't have a title match, and they haven't been seen in weeks. The Death Ninjas are out here, and it looks like they have something to say on the issue. I wonder what these two have to say. They spring their way into the ring. It was very nice of the crew to set up the springboard for them so that they can make their dramatic entrance into this ring, but Harry and Death Lordicus have made their presence known out here to the other two teams that are already out here. Well, I guess we'll hand over to them and we'll hear what they have to say.
Enough of this! You know that there is a team that you four keep forgetting about. A team that still hasn't had their revenge for you cheating us out of the tag team tournaments. A team that would be in the tag team team title hunt if you guys didn't stop passing the parcel with the tag team titles. A team that has been waiting to kick your ass for so long, and that team is not waiting any longer. And that team is the...
Yeah, we get it, Fairy. You think you're ready for us? I think that this division hasn't learned yet that we run the place now. And what we say goes. So how about we give these dancing freak shows a lesson in knowing their place? Well, it looks like it's finally fight time, and the Death Ninjas stepping up for a fight. How are we going to start this one off? And we are on the way here as the tag team champions kick us off there with a nice little slam and an early cover, just trying to get this one done. Well, the Death Ninjas, oh, getting caught there on the roll up. Look at this, really just trying to get out of here quickly. Harry managing to get the shoulders up again. Bolton and Hart clearly not interested as they made it seem as to begin with. There's another scoop slam. Very nicely done. Harry under early pressure, and Bolton trying to get the early pressure to get him out of this ring early and get this win. Well, the Death Ninjas stepping up tonight. They've said that they belong and they deserve a chance, and they're getting it here. Look at this. Oh, beautiful move. And Bolton's going to move out of harm's way, and it looks like Hart is going to take advantage. Not going to take the receiving end of that beating there. Taken to the outside, but he's still fighting back. The referee starts a count, and that is interesting. Very, very interesting start here to this matchup. Oh, Hart gets taken off the apron. Meanwhile, Bolton now going to make his way around, and you'll see the beautiful snow that we have around the arena. The Christmas feel is here, and of course, we are just 3 weeks away from the Christmas Clash pay-per-view. It might be coming a little bit early this time of year, but, you know, it's never too early to celebrate Christmas, is it really? Trashed into the stairs there. The referee's count is rising. And the way Bolton started this match, it wouldn't surprise me if he just settles for the count out. He's just been trying to get this one done really quickly. Count of 8. And he's gotten back into the corner. Count of 9. Both of them need to get back in the ring here. And they both beat the count. Just about there for both men. Managing to beat the count, but Bolton took full advantage of the use of the outside. And the tag team champions are off to a good start. But these two keeping themselves alive. And Harry and Def Lordicus both right in saying that we were robbed in the tag team tournament. We could have still made an impact in the tournament had we have not lost that last match. They did everything they could to keep their hopes alive, but it was ruined by Bolton and Hart, and they believe that they deserve another chance potentially at getting the tag team titles. And of course, Def Lordicus saying all that in his weird, creepy, squeaky voice he has. And Harry now trying to fire himself up as Hart becomes the legal man, and Hart rolls out the way. And you'll notice how Bolton and Hart, Oxley and James have stayed at ringside here. They want to see what's going on here, want to watch on, see how proceedings go. And you can't blame them really, of course, that in 3 weeks time at the Christmas Clash, it will be the tag team champions on the line, championships on the line in their rematch clause. But Harry Austin trying to make it clear that he has intentions of getting in here, as is Def Lordicus. They want another go. And it's just a matter of whether or not they can actually get it. Back into the ring they go. Alan Hart, Peter Bolton. They started off strong, but it looks like Harry and Def Lordicus have turned the tide. Oh, a cheap shot there by Def Lordicus. Hart having to fight his way out of the corner there because that was getting problematic. And going to make the tag now, and back in comes Bolton. And did you see the smile on Bolton's face when he was tagged in there? He can't wait to get back in this ring and inflict some damage. Right now, these two really going at it here. And they all seem to be gunning for one another, which is no surprise to me, that's for sure. Bolton and Hart, of course, out to prove a point. And they're trying to, you know, right in front of the faces of Oxley and James, show their dominance. Of course, now that both teams have held their first tag team championships, and they don't want to lose this one. Spinebuster by the Ace. Oh, and a kick out at 2. Harrowing on in there, but look at Bolton begging him to bring it, daring him to do it. And then look at that. Harry now going to bring the fight to him. And now Harry looking for a sunset flip. rolls through perfectly and into the cover. Can Harry take this one on the sunset flip? Oh, flip back. Oh, and he kicks. But Hart was a bit worried there, and as was Ludicrous, which is why they both rushed in during the roll-ups. They decided not to get involved, though, as they both managed to come up with counters. But Harry in a bad pickle here because he's not really getting much offense in. Just kind of holding on in there. But Harry is going to roll out of harm's way for the moment. And Oxley and James have made their way round to ringside. And looks like they're just kind of enjoying what they're seeing, maybe. I don't know what they're thinking right now, but... Oh, look at this, right in front of Oxley's face. Mocking Oxley and James, and taking out Harry with a shotgun drop kick. Perfectly done. Into the cover goes the tag team champions. And they get it. The Ace of Hearts showing their dominance once again. Fantastic. Fantastic teamwork. Again, they show off their skills. And right in front of the #1 contenders as well. And oh, look at this. No, they're still not done. Sending a message to Oxley and James, who watch on at ringside, not quick to intervene here. They don't seem to be interested in saving the Death Ninjas. Well, the Death Ninjas were brave enough to step up to the task, but Bolton and Hart are on a roll right now. And they are just beating down everybody in the tag division. Well, in 3 weeks' time, they need to put up or shut up because it will be the Tag Team Championships on the line. And it's a matter of whether or not they can get the job done. Will Oxley and James become 2-time Tag Team Champions, or will Bolton and Hart prevail and the Ace of Hearts walk out with the Tag Team titles? We'll find out at Christmas Clash, but it's time to move on to the rest of the card. Hold on a minute here. Connors is backstage and with Bruiser Brad. What the hell is this about? The television champion confronting Bruiser Brad. And oh, Bruiser Brad now getting jumped. What's this? Bruiser Brad under attack by the television champion. What is this about? Last week, Wilson Woodward jumped him. And as we thought it was with Jake Griffiths. Jake Griffiths has denied it, but now Liam Connors taking out Bruiser Brad. And remember, Bruiser Brad is still booked for the main event. He's supposed to be in a triple threat match for the champion, to be the #1 contender for the championship, the World Championship later on. That's got nothing to do with Connors. So what the hell is Connors doing out here? What the absolute hell? Gets him up on the shoulders. Bruiser Brad not having any of it though. Bruiser Brad, a true fighter, a true trooper. Never backs down. He doesn't care who it is, but Bruiser Brad not letting this ambush be successful right now. Bruiser Brad has clearly been victimized over the last couple of weeks, but I have no idea why. Liam Connors now is under heavy pressure, and this is exactly what you should be expecting when you try to ambush Bruiser Brad. And look at this. Austin Creed, who was having an interview there, was running away for his dear life there. He didn't think that was going to happen. And now look at this. Connors on the prowl and still striking away at Bruiser Brad and just tossing him up to the interview area. And right now, this is just insane. Like I say, Connors has his own things to worry about. He's got Big Willie to deal with, and he's got Ryan Austin to deal with. So why the hell has he tried to pick a fight with one of the biggest men on the brand right now? What on earth is that all about? Bruiser Brad, though, not letting him have any of it. Big knee to the back. What a move. Bruiser Brad not letting the television champion get away with whatever it is he's planning to do. Oh, just tossing him into the wall there. Damage definitely being inflicted. Well, Bruiser Brad, remember, of course, doesn't want to take too much damage here. Doesn't want to start too much of a fight. Crashes him into the wall again because he's got a World Heavyweight Championship #1 contenders match later on tonight. And Connors is in action as well tonight. He's having a rematch with the Cotterrells, so he can't afford to be taking on damage. This is insanity. Why is everybody jumping Bruiser Brad like this? Oh, tossing him into the set there. And now look at this. Bad spot for Bruiser Brad. Oh, and a knee to the jaw. Bruiser Brad not in good shape. And Connor's now wearing away at the legs. Oh my God. Take away the legs of the big man, take away the fray, and that's definitely going to do the trick. Whatever Connors is trying to do here, he's actually holding up. And now look at this deadlift powerbomb again. Liam Connors really inflicting damage here and continuing to do so. Oh, and crashes him into the set. And oh, the set falls to the top of him. Getting absolutely destroyed right now. But why is Connors doing this to a potential #1 contenders candidate? He's got his legs stuck in the set there. Bruiser Brad really is not going away. And this is what I love about Bruiser Brad. He really just does not give up, does he? What a brilliant, brilliant display from him. Just refuses to stay down. But right now, he's hurt. And he is hurt bad. I don't know what much left. Bruiser Brad has big super kick. Oh my God, no, no, no. Oh, German onto the apron. And look at Connors. Look at this. Begging him to bring it. What exactly is this? I have absolutely no idea, but Connors taking out Bruiser Brad and punches him down. And he's not done there. Leave him alone. This is just not necessary. And Liam Connors wipes out Bruiser Brad. But why on earth has he done that? Well, next up tonight, a match that was talked about a couple of weeks ago, and we're finally going to get him. It is the first of 3 matches that are featuring in the women's division, and all 3 winners of these matches will be going to the pay-per-view to fight for the captaincy of Team Fight Night's women's division for the Mind Games pay-per-view that will be occurring after the Last Stand pay-per-view, which will be the next Mayhem pay-per-view, following, of course, the Sin City Showdown that will be happening in the very next episode. First people down to the ring tonight is Hive, and the Hive, of course, recently coming off a loss for the Women's Championship, more specifically Brooke Versace coming off a loss for the Women's Championship. But tonight, Catherine Albright gets a chance to qualify. And of course, right now, the women's division and Fight Night is very slim due to injuries that have been caused by the Hive, or of course, some people not needing to fight, I guess, such as maybe Brooke Danger, for example. Of course, I'm sure she'll be willing to fight. In fact, that's exactly who she's fighting tonight. So Catherine Albright will have a fun time there, but the Hive don't exactly have a lot of friends in this division. And they know that for a fact. They put people like Wildcat on the shelf. So the Fight Night Women's Division is very thin, is the point I'm coming across here. And it could mean that all of these women could eventually end up at pay-per-view on the same team. But it could also mean that someone misses out. And remember, the winning team will be rewarded with title opportunities in the future, and no one is going to want to miss out on that. But one woman who already has a title opportunity in the palm of her hands is Brooke Danger, the second member of the Danger family to win the Money in the Bank briefcase. She, of course, won that at Uprising right before 2K18 got underway, and this is the first time that she has come out as the briefcase holder. And she looks ready for a fight, laser focused. We haven't seen much of the Danger family since Max Danger lost the World Heavyweight Championship to Alex Wilson a few months ago. But we'll see whether she steps up tonight here against Catherine Albright. The bell rings, and away we go. And it'll be interesting to see how this one does go. There's been a lot of buzz around Catherine Albright in the last couple of weeks, because I've been seeing on social media and places like that, everyone seems to be talking about how well she's been performing. And she has been. Catherine Albright, since joining the Hive, has really shown off her talent. She has talked about how she's missed her home brand and missed being on Mayhem. However, Mayhem, she never really got the chance to show what she could do. Never really shone as an individual. But even with Brooke Danger by her side, she's really starting to show everyone what type of a fighter she really is, and how much of a fight she brings to the table as she drop kicks Miss Money in the Bank. Of course, Brooke Danger, a woman who needs no introduction, former Fight Night Women's Champion, and now the first ever Miss Money in the Bank briefcase holder. She's been very impressive, to say the least, in the last couple of months, and she has really proved a threat. Was unable to retain the championship for long enough. And look at the Hive daring him to come on. And like I say, you can see the negative reaction from the crowd. I don't think they'd want the Hive to be team captains of Fight Night. But then again, can you blame the general manager, Theodore Adam-Wright, for wanting the Hive to be a part of the team or a part of team captains? Because they're a dangerous team. They can injure people very frequently. They are tough fighters in their own right, and they know how to get the job done. And that's something you're going to want coming into Fight Night, and of course, coming to face Mayhem. And of course, it is still very early preparations. Very early preparations, because of course we've still got, like I said, the Christmas Clash, and we've got Last Stand. But the general manager of Fight Night wants to make sure that he's making the right calls, making the right decisions. So it'll be interesting to see who gets the job done here. Notice how Tashley not out here tonight. Haven't seen Tashley since. Haven't seen a lot of the women's division. Been trying to recuperate since switching providers, I'd say. But Tashley, I don't know if she's injured or she's just not coming out here tonight with the Hive. I don't know what the situation is with Tashley. But the Hive have come out as a duo tonight rather than the usual trio. And oh, look at this! Begging her to bring it, and she's made her pay there. What a combination by Catherine Albright! And she follows it all up with a leg sweep. Beautiful work by Albright, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. She has shone. She didn't shine very well over on Mayhem, but on Fight Night, she really has come into her own since joining the Hive. And that's a 2 count. As for the Hive, whether or not they can get through this tonight is enough to be seen. But look at this. Oh, look at this. Oh, is that a tie driver? Was that a tie driver from Catherine Albright? Into the cover. Is this going to be enough to get rid of Brooke? No, it's not. 2 count, and look at her face. She thought for certain that was going to do it. Well, look at that. Bringing out Steve Miller's tie driver. An absolutely incredible move. It's been very effective in the past for Miller. Didn't quite get the job done there. Into a cover again. And look at, she can't believe it. Look at Brooke's face on the outside. She's not too impressed either. Well, Brooke Versace and Catherine Albright, you've got to imagine that should either of them become team captain, or even if Tashley comes back and becomes team captain, you've got to imagine that they're going to try and get all the members of the Hive in. And now look at this, a knee bar. Almost an ankle lock, it looks, kind of the way she's picked it, but Brooke's UFC experience should be able to fight her way out of this one, and it looks like she has. She's done okay there, missed Money in the Bank, but she is barely holding on. This has been a very impressive performance, and this is what I'm saying, these are starting to come in abundance for Catherine Albright. How long before she becomes potentially a #1 contender for the Women's Championship, because she really is starting to show herself one of the more veterinary fighters here in WIW. Been here near enough since the beginning of the women's division. I'm pretty sure, actually, she might have been here since the beginning of the women's division. Catherine Albright has really herself, but Brooke Danger, so dangerous, can turn the whole tide of a match with a single punch. And everybody knows that. And there's a big strike there. And look at this. Oh, God! Folds her in half with the German suplex. And now all of a sudden, Brooke Danger looking for a finish. What's she thinking here? Rolls through into a guillotine. Close to the ropes, but not close enough. This could be a problem. And it's a tap out. Big win for Brooke Danger. Pulls it out the bag there. The German to disorienter. And the jumping guillotine gets the job done for Brooke Danger. Well, the Hive and Brooke Danger have been counting each other so many, and this has usually been the outcome. But I really thought it was going to go the other way tonight. Miss Money in the Bank does a terrific job. Oh, no, no, look at this. This is not necessary. Absolutely not necessary. The beatdown from Brooke Danger. Well, both these women would have done the same thing, you got to imagine. But Catherine Albright must feel disappointed about this result tonight. She surely thought she had this in the bag, but it wasn't to be, and Brooke Danger will be the first woman in the triple threat to determine the team captain of Friday Fight Night's women's division. Will she be able to go all the way, or will she have something else in store, like becoming the women's champion just before, because she has the power to do that, We'll have to wait and see, of course, what the future holds, but that is for another day. Let's move on down the rest of tonight's card. Well, a big win from Miss Money in the Bank there, keeping our momentum going. We continue on now with some more tag team action. And the first two down to the ring, it is, of course, the television champion, Liam Connors, accompanied to the ring, of course, by Ryan Austin for another match with the Cotterrells. Now, you might be wondering why we're getting this again. Well, quite frankly, as you saw at the end, there was a bit of tension between Connors and Austin. It was going very well for them, but if we can get a replay up on the screen, I'll show you. But then, all of a sudden, right at the end, just before the winning strike was landed, these two caught each other. Ryan, I believe, catching Connors, punching him in the face. And Connors believed it was intentional, and that led to a conflict after the match. These two not exactly on the same page. Remember, these two at Christmas Clash will be in a triple threat match between these two and Big Willie for the television championship. And of course, there might be still some conflict, as last week they only found out that Connors, because he's the one who pinned Big Willie, he is the champion and they are not co-champions. Still, they come out here tonight and they look to be on a united front, but notice how they don't seem to be looking at each other. They don't seem to be particularly interested in the other. Perhaps the tension's still there, I don't know, but the reason we're calling for a rematch is to see what they can do, give them some more time, but also because, well, to be honest, they and us scraped through in that match last week. That was by far the most impressive that the Cotterrells have looked in a very long time. But it's now a question of whether or not they can get themselves some revenge. Well, here they are. It's been a long time since we've seen them stand out as tag team stars, but last week, bloody hell, they looked amazing, particularly Brett. Brett Cotterrell, usually the loose end in this tag team equation, usually Max doing a lot of the work, but not getting any results because Brett can't hold up his end. But if Brett is finally stepping up and Max can keep his usual consistency, then maybe we could be looking at a Cotterrell's resurgence here. They weren't able to get the result last week, but Connors and Austin have had a lot more in-ring time and practice than the Cotterrells have. And like I say, Ryan and Connors, clearly there's still tension, so maybe the Cotterrells could finally get back to some tag team success here tonight as they face them again. Connors and Austin, of course, will have other things on their minds, and the Cotterrells will only be set out here to win. It looks like these two teams really starting to square off already, and Ryan, oh look at this, these two seems to be arguing about who's going to start here. Looks like Max is going to take the start. It looks like Connors, the champ, wants this one. And a bit of an interesting confrontation there. Both teams just staring each other down, but looks like Ryan and Liam could not agree on who they wanted to start. But it is a strong start by Connors. And Ryan is getting the fans worked up already. Of course, Ryan Austin, not exactly a fan favourite. Not in the slightest. Look at the kind of dude he's turned Connors into. But you can't argue with their partnership. First outing in a title match, and they managed to get it done. Yes, it was a handicap. Yes, they pulled out every trick in the book. But history will not show how they did it. History will show that they did do it. And Liam Connors becomes only the second man to take the title away from Big Willie. Only the fourth holder of the title in history. The others, of course, Travis Cotterrell, the first ever television champion. Big Willie, of course, holding it for the rest of the time. But then there was that brief month period where the other member of the industry, funny enough, JW Cashman, managed to take it from him. But Liam Connors, in all those situations, is the first person to actually pin Big Willie. Big Willie has never been pinned or submitted in a title match, and he's only lost one title match. Or two now, including the match against them. But yeah, it's been quite a twist in the tail, and I don't think many people saw it coming. Even in the 2-on-1 handicap situation, I remember watching it with all of you, and you were all there commenting. And we will be doing the same again for Sin City Showdown, just a heads up. For Sin City Showdown, and, of course, for the Christmas Clash pay-per-view, we will be doing that. And, of course, all pay-per-views, I think, now will be done live. It was great being there with all of you watching the show. And, of course, the general manager and chairman, Blake Austin, will be in attendance, you got to imagine. chatting away with you all as he was at the beginning of last pay-per-view before he had to rush off. And Brett and Max really have got off to a strong enough start here in this matchup. And keeping him on the outside for the moment. And look at this. Oh, just kick to the little cheap boots to the head here. Look at this. This is good teamwork from the Cotterells. And now might be able to just wear him down on the outside for long enough to maybe throw him off the count. The count is rising. We're at a count of 8 now, I think. The count is rising. Count of 9. These two need to get back in the ring. One does. Oh, and right before the ref was about to raise his hands, Connors gets back in there. And Connors, look at this. Look at this, showing off the strength here, Connors. And before landing a power slam, almost doing press-ups with him, push-ups with him. And Connors once again playing to the crowd. The crowd not particularly happy. Connors has definitely shown a new attitude in the last recent couple of weeks, and I don't think people have liked it too much. Connors now firing away in the corner. Look at this. Firing fist, and he has really increased in punching power. You've noticed that the final strike in the Big Willie fight was a single punch. Connor's clearly been working on that right hook. Oh! Double-handed choke slam, and Connor's in trouble. Ryan had to make the save, and Mac's going to chase him out the ring. What a start it's been from the Cotterells. Max maybe not got off to the best of starts, but Brett doing the job. And now Brett in a camel clutch position. Doesn't quite lock it in. I thought maybe he would consider it. Oh, look at this again. The strength of Brett deadlifting him into a military press and just drops him down. Straight into the cover. Oh, look at this. Ryan's not coming. Ryan didn't bother making the save. Ryan, what was that? Ryan didn't even get tagged in once, and he refused to come and make the save. And what is that about? Clearly the tension's still there, but the Cotterells get one back. A huge victory for Brett and Max. Well, Connor's wiped out on the outside, but Ryan has just walked away. Ryan not interested anymore. He was asked to start. He didn't get to start. Connor's in some discomfort. That was a brutal beatdown from the Cotterells. And the Cotterells, all of a sudden, looking like a real tag team threat again. Could they go back to the days before WIW? Now, that's the question for them. But Connors and Austin, they're going to need to sort their shit out, or things aren't going to go either of their way when we get to the Christmas Clash. We'll have to wait and see how that does go. But ladies and gentlemen, it's time to move on down the rest of the card. Wait. Oh, what the hell? Is that? That's Robert Hall. What's he doing here? He's not even on this brand. What the absolute hell is this? Bruiser Brad now getting taken out by someone who's not even on the brand. How the hell have they let Robert Hall back here? And what exactly is Robert Hall doing here? Robert Hall inflicting damage to the big man who's already been taken out once tonight. This is absolute absurdity. What is going on here? Something shady is going on. I can feel it. Why is Bruiser Brad just getting attacked by everyone? Oh, God. Lovely slam. Bruiser Brad, the victim of absolute abuse right now, and I honestly don't know why Bruiser Brad is being ambushed like he is. Bruiser Brad has been taken out by Connors, by Woodward last week, and now Robert Hall, and Robert Hall's not even on the brand. What could he have done to piss him off? Oh, God, no. Oh, through the table! And he landed on the briefcase as well. Oh, no, and he's not done with that briefcase. Beating down Bruiser Brad here in the locker room. Why is Bruiser Brad being targeted like this? Oh, my goodness. William, everything is kicking off backstage. Russian leg sweep to the big man. And Robert Hall just wipes him out. Why is Bruiser Brad just being attacked? Can someone please explain to me? Did I miss something? Bruiser Brad is beaten down, and I don't even know if he's going to be able to make it to the main event. Well, ladies and gentlemen, a big retaining there from King Sam, and it looks like he's taking his hardcore title reign a lot more serious than I initially thought. I thought he was just doing it to stick it to Jade, and it looks like he actually wants to be a true hardcore champion. Well, ladies and gentlemen, up next, we've seen the women's captaincy qualifiers. Tonight, we'll see the first of the men's. And the first man down is Wilson Woodward, which is an interesting choice. Wilson Woodward making his presence known last week by taking out Bruiser Brad right before his qualifying match. And Bruiser Brad, at first we thought was being targeted by Wilson Woodward and Jake Griffiths after last week, but as we've been seeing all night long, Bruiser Brad's just been ambushed all night long, and I have no idea if that means he's going to make it to the main event, which is a triple threat, of course, to determine the #1 contender for the World Heavyweight Championship, but he's in pretty bad shape. I don't know if he's going to hold up. But he was been beaten up several times tonight by several different people. I'm not sure if it's a group or a trend, or if Bruiser Brad just did something really bad to piss everyone off, but it doesn't seem to have any rhyme or rhythm to what's going on. But for some reason he's been ambushed, and I don't know what that's about. But Wilson Woodward concentrating tonight. Remember, of course, the team captain of the team, the winning team, will be getting a title match, as will everybody on that team. So Wilson Woodward would love another crack at getting a title opportunity. I'm sure it's been a while between drinks for them, and especially for this man as well, Trevor Jackson. Remember, Trevor Jackson is a prize fighter, only comes out for special occasions where he can earn something. And tonight he's got a big chance to earn something as well. Last time he had a world title opportunity was lockdown, if I remember correctly, where he was in the Elimination Chamber for the World Heavyweight Championship. That was quite a while ago. Trevor Jackson had some opportunities since then. Answered a couple of Big Willie's open challenges. Not that that's open anymore. Notice how there's no open challenges since Liam Connors took the gold. But Trevor Jackson, very interestingly, has been a bit absent, been a bit quiet. But it's interesting he steps up for this matchup tonight. And the bell rings, and away we go. And these two, remember, of course, will face the winner of the next two matches for qualifiers in a triple threat match at Christmas Clash. In the Christmas Clash pay-per-view, a very festive one. It was a very big episode last year. It was before the season break, and we will be having another mid-season break, just to let you guys know. You know, I hate to do it to you, but it does need to be done. But we do have some other announcements as well. But the chairman, Blake Austin, will be doing a separate video on that, where he just talks to you guys about what is coming up and the future of WIW coming in to an amazing 2019. Yeah, hopefully that is what is going to happen. Trevor Jackson off to a strongish start here, but Wilson Woodward has a point to prove tonight. He's suffered from losses, Wilson Woodward, but the one thing he keeps doing is coming back. He always keeps coming back. He always tries to prove that he's the best. He thoroughly believes he is the best. He just struggles to show it in the ring. However, he's a class act, a tough fighter. But for Wilson Woodward, it just never falls for him. He never gets the results. Fails to find a move that can put him away. But of course, one thing he is a natural talent on the mic. And knows how to get people under people's skin, and that's exactly why you got to imagine he'd be a good choice for team captain. Knows how to rile up the opposite team, and I'm sure Wilson would only be picking people that he saw as perfect fits that were going to help him win. Big knee there by Trevor Jackson. He knows it as well. Into a cover he goes, trying to get this one done to count. And as for Trevor Jackson, again, he's a prize fighter. Only comes out when it benefits him. Only takes on fights that he believes he can win. For Trevor Jackson to become captain, he would definitely be on job, because he is here to get the job done. A spinning heel kick. Is that going to be enough this early into the fight? I didn't think so. Too early there to finish it off, but Trevor Jackson thought he had it. For Trevor Jackson, as I was saying, his team captain's role could be interesting. I've never really seen Jackson as much of a leader, but however, he has taken initiatives in the past. You'll remember way back near his debut when he tried to take on the Vikings of Destiny by himself. Ended up calling in reinforcements and getting some support there from the Chaos Twins. So Trevor Jackson, no stranger to rallying up the troops. And of course, it is for title opportunities, and neither one of these men are going to want to let title opportunities slip out of their hands. So for these two, of course, they don't know who else will be a part of the qualifiers. But they've got to focus on themselves. And of course, captain's roles haven't always been as obvious as you thought. Last year, of course, the Mayhem team captain was Jaden it was Jaden in the end, but it was supposed to be SDC for the Mayhem brand. And of course, last year's Fight Night team captains were the former tag team champions, Oxley and James. Of course, they weren't former tag team champions at that time, because that Mind Games win was probably the biggest achievement of their career. Of course, last year's Mind Games finished in a draw. We had to do a tiebreaker, and eventually we've got a winner. Oh, there's a neck breaker! Beautifully done! Into the collar! Hook of the leg! Is this enough for Woodward to get it? 2 count! Jackson gets the shoulder up, but Wilson Woodward looking strong there. And now Wilson Woodward looking for a finish. Can get him up for that fireman's carry slam? Get him! He's got him! Into the collar! Hook of the leg! What a win for Wilson Woodward! A huge victory, and you could see him collapse there. He had to put on a hard battle for that one, but he can't believe it. Wilson Woodward back to winning ways for the first time in a long time, and a big win for him. Wilson Woodward gets the job done, and he is the first man out of 3 going to Christmas Clash to fight for the team captain's role of Friday Fight Night. Well, it's an interesting choice, it really is. But Wilson Woodward proving that potentially he wasn't a bad option after all. Big win against Trevor Jackson. But the question is, can he go all the way? Could this be the start of a little bit of a resurgence for him as well? First the Cotterells, now Woodward starting to look like a true fighter again. Is this the start of Woodward's rise? Who knows? We'll have to wait and see, but it's time to move on down the rest of the card. How are all you people doing tonight? Are you having a good night so far? Well, it's about to get even better. You see, thanks to having the Wolfpack by my side 24/7, all of my duties as Hardcore Champion is either done in this ring or it's not done at all. But see, I didn't take this title as a free win knowing that no one would be able to take it from me in the backstage. No. Far from it. I want someone to try and take this from me. But from now on, this hardcore title is going to live up to its name. You see, none of the hardcore title matches that have happened before, you guys have seen, even comes close to a hardcore match. Which is why King Sam's Hardcore Invitational begins tonight for whoever wants the belt. But let's make things a little bit more hardcore, shall we? Wait, what the hell? Oh, look at what he's done! I see it! Well, you guys can't probably see it from this angle, but King Sam has exposed the apron and the wooden flooring underneath it. I see what he's trying to do. A match with no apron and just the wooden flooring underneath. That is going to do some hell. Big damage. Jesus Christ, King Sam already stepping up for the hardcore, but someone already has stepped up to answer the call. King Sam will be facing William Hale for the Hardcore Championship. Well, William Hale still yet to get his hands on gold here in WIW. Stepping up to a huge task tonight. Look at that! The entire apron exposed as Sam rips away the last of it there. Well, we better be able to get that back on for the next match. We can't have that all night long, because that is going to cause some serious damage. But William Hale, being very brave, has to step up to the task of fighting King Sam, who is of course a 3-time world champion in WIW, and now the hardcore champion in such grueling conditions like this wooden floor.
Introducing the challenger from New York, weighing in at 220 pounds, William Hale. Introducing the champion from London, England, weighing in at 212 pounds, he is the World Internet Wrestling Hardcore Champion, King Sam.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we had no idea that this was going to happen, but King Sam taking the hardcore stipulation very seriously, and William Hale seemed to be the only one brave enough to step up to the call of this extreme no-apron hardcore match. Well, the bell rings, and away we go, and straight into it for the clothesline, and Chick with a drop kick. And the outer apron completely exposed now, which is going to make every single impact just that little bit more dangerous. King Sam knowing that full well, which is exactly why he issued the challenge. Oh, God. Oh, God, to the back. I can't imagine how much that must hurt. Imagine all the splinters you're going to get from this as well. Hopefully, those boards are up to code. Well, King Sam, of course, winning the Hardcore Championship last week. And notice how Jaden isn't the one who came to answer this challenge. Jaden not giving it at all. Look at this. Hale says, no, I'm not coming in there. King Sam got caught taunting, though, right near the ropes. William Hale, that's what I'm saying. He's a true mastermind. Always thinking 10 steps ahead. Loves to be strategical about fights. But, oh, to the back. King Sam, I wasn't sure if he was going to take this hardcore title reign seriously. I thought maybe he was just doing it as a reason to, you know, stick it to Jaden for what he did to SDC. Bit of revenge for a match that he said he really wanted. But King Sam, it looks like he actually is enjoying the fact that he's hardcore champion. Oh, and he just got his first real feel of the apron. Look at this. Once again to the outside. He clearly don't want this inside. And remember, it is a hardcore match. Falls do count anywhere. No countouts and disqualification. Absolutely everything goes. William Hale was looking for something under the ring, but King Sam didn't let him find it. This has been an interesting start from both of these guys. William Hale just trying to do his usual stuff, his ground and pound, his wear and tear. King Sam on the other end is just been getting the normal hits in as well. Nothing spectacular, nothing that's going to drill your head through any of those wooden boards yet. This is going to be an interesting one to see how this one ends. King Sam defending his hardcore title for the very first time. There hasn't been many successful defenses in history. Big drop kick to the back. But those successful defenders go on to have decent reigns. But like with the whole situation on the brand. Oh, God! Beautiful suplex, and his legs hooked on the rope. Kicks out, and that suplex is going to do even more damage on this wooden floor. And that's the thing, yeah, I was going to say. The reason that Aiden Nathaniel had one of the longest reigns is because Justice was, you know, Justice was dangerous. There was more than free. It was always a 3-on-1 situation at all times. And that'll be the same for the Wolfpack, which is exactly why you'd imagine no one's going to be trying to jump King Sam from behind backstage. William Hale being very smart here, taking it away from the no apron board that we have set up. King Sam has done so hard to set it up, and that's exactly why he's trying to steer him back in that direction, but it doesn't look like much success. And Hale and Sam just scrapping it out now here at this part of in the crowd. And the crowd loving it, eating every moment of it. But look at Hale now. Now Hale's running away. And Hale can't seem to make up his mind about what he wants to do here, but he's clearly got something planned. But King Sam reading everything right now that he's doing, and he's not letting him get out of harm's way. Big strikes from Sam. And Sam now, what's the plan? Back into the ring. This is clearly where he wants it. And we'll see what Sam has in store for it now. He clearly had a plan. That's why he wanted to bring it in with no apron. But what exactly is Sam's plan? He watches Hale down on the apron. Hale try to run. King Sam not letting him. Now look at this, Sam. Maybe submission here. And he goes for it. Submission hold applied. William Hale, a bit of a technical fighter himself. I can't imagine the submission was going to work there. The crossface chicken wing could do the trick, but that one didn't seem to do much damage. Oh, and again, that arm drag, crashing his back onto the apron. Oh, my God. Sam, what's he thinking here? Oh, God, look at this. Get him up. Oh, God. pile driver onto the wooden apron. And King Sam might have just killed the man. What a pile driver to retain the hardcore title. Goodness me, what an impact. King Sam drilling his head with the pile driver, not favouring the cross-face chicken wing tonight. He had the wooden board plan from the start, and that's exactly the plan he stood with. King Sam absolutely murdering him there with that butterfly pile driver. What a move by King Sam, and that is one hell of a way to defend the Hardcore Championship. Well, like we say, King Sam with the help of the Wolfpack, you can't imagine he's got to worry too much about losing it backstage, but if this is the type of matches he's going to be hosting, I can't imagine it's going to be long before people are not going to even want to try. King Sam putting the Hardcore division on notice and finally starting to add some hardcore depth into the Hardcore title. How long will this reign last though, and when is Jaden planning on striking? Well, I have no idea, ladies and gentlemen. We'll have to find out soon, but it's time to move on down the rest of the card. Oh my god, now what? Oh, come on! Okay, something seriously must be up. Robert Hall, yeah, he's a nice guy. He doesn't usually do this kind of thing. But, you know, other than that, you know, Wilson Woodward would expect this from. But what the hell is Def Lordicus doing? Def Lordicus, who has a match tonight, or he might have already had it, I don't remember, but this now beating him down. What the absolute hell is going on? Now tell me that something isn't going seriously wrong here in the locker room of this brand. Absolute chaos has ensued on Bruiser Brad. It's all been literally on one person. Well, I don't know if Bruiser Brad is going to make it to the main event tonight. Oh, God, tossed into the car. But Bruiser Brad has just been single-handedly targeted by everyone tonight. And I have no idea why. But look at this. This is just a brutal assault to the big man. And I don't even know if Brad knows why this is happening. Is Brad going to be able to make it to the main event? I hope so, because he definitely deserves to get his #1 contender spot back. But it doesn't look like he's going to be in great shape when he gets there, as Def Lordicus adds further insult to injury. And now he's taking him out too. What on earth is going on here? Well, ladies and gentlemen, after one hell of a crazy night, it seemed like everybody had just lost their minds tonight. It really did. Doesn't seem too many people were in the Christmas cheer. We're here at our main event, which is now a triple threat, building on everything that happened last week. For whatever reason, Theodore Adam-Wright agreed with the Borough Jake Griffiths that he deserved to be in the #1 contenders match to get one more shot at Alex Wilson. The reason he believes that, apparently Adam Wright saw it as well. He came out and he beat down everyone else who was supposed to be a challenger, supposed to be the next in line. And I mean, you can't argue results. He beat down Dino D. He claims he had nothing to do with the assault on Big Bruiser Brad, but I mean, I guess you kind of have to agree with him now. It seems like these attacks are pretty random, as he's still getting him tonight. And that's the big question. Is this triple threat going to turn into a 1v1? Because I don't know if Bruiser Brad's going to make it out here. Bruiser Brad has been beaten down severely by the likes of Alan Hart, by the likes of Def Lordicus, for God's sake. Everyone seems to be targeting him, and I don't know why. But there's one man that is to be a world champion who would be too happy. I'm sure he's not a happy man. Got seen by the GM. Jake Griffiths gets involved.